What up, what up, what up? How's everybody doing tonight? What up, my man? Yeah, smash the Rogans up, help us break the algorithms. This is going to be a pretty short one, man. I'm like super tired. So sorry. I know it's been a few days. Had some unexpected expenses and stuff come up. So I've just been real busy, but I didn't want to just leave y'all hanging. So I figured I'd do a quick stream, just kind of chat with y'all. So basically, a real realization that I've been having lately, and I've kind of known this for a while, and I've actually had quite a bit of content about this, but I know some people, man, like they feel like they can't really handle like all kinds of people attacking them, coming at them. And like if you go around speaking the flat earth truth, that's what's going to happen. People are going to attack you. Trust me, I know all about it. And I've just been doing this on YouTube for like a month or something. So I get it, but you have to understand that if you're doing what's right, that's what's going to come with it. I'm not trying to get too mushy on y'all or whatever, bro, but dude, sometimes things happen, man. I know quite a few people that are going through some things right now regarding this general premise that when they try to speak the truth and wake people up, they're getting all kinds of kickback from their family, from all kinds of different situations. And so the title of the stream is Enemies. And of course, if you're not new to the stream, you know that, in my opinion, the enemy is Lucifer, the devil, Satan, whatever you want to call him, man. That's the enemy. And then he's going to operate through other people that are going to be your enemies, right? Dude, I can tell you, man, there's a whole lot of people that think they know everything about God, think they know everything about religions, about Jesus, whatever. And they may not truly understand this. But dude, if you're truly trying to speak the truth about God, you're going to get attacked. Say what you want to say. Dude, I live it. So I don't really care what anyone has to say, actually. That's weird, right? Because if it's all just fake, I just don't see why that would happen. But Lucifer's not Satan, bro. Okay. What's up, everybody? If you want a vision of the future, imagine a black swan boot stomping on my wet, sticky balls forever. That's a little much. What up, guys? The video didn't kick in while I was on another tab I didn't use to do that. It's all good, bro. What up, my dude? Yeah, like I said, this is just going to be a kind of short thing where I wanted to get some of this off my chest. I also didn't want to leave y'all hanging. I didn't make a stream last night because I was real busy, and then I didn't want to kick back and watch Jaren's 200th episode. And so, yeah, ended up being later. Like I said, I just had a lot going on, so I haven't had much time. But enough of that. I don't know. Here's the deal with me. I know a lot of people. Awesome. What's up, man? A lot of people, since I talk about God a lot, or I talk about Jesus, people want to come at me from all these theological angles. Dude, I just don't want to have theological debates, man, because we don't know everything. And 99% of Christians, in my opinion, don't even fully understand it. I don't think anyone fully understands it. but I'm saying they don't even understand basic things about it, like the basic story of what the scriptures actually suggest. They don't even know it. I'm not big on theological discussions, man. Religion is from man-made interpretation, i.e., a doctrine, right? So religion, doctrine, man-made interpretation of scriptures that could be considered divine. I'm not big on men and listening to men. All I'm trying to let y'all know, dude, is I live it. When I go around speaking the truth unequivocally and talking about Jesus, people attack me. I don't care what anyone has to say about it, bro. I'm letting y'all know what really happens. You can think Jesus is fake and all that, bro, but I'm just telling you, I could talk about anything, man. But when I say something about Jesus, dude, people spiral, dude. It's really weird. It's really weird. And no, following Christ isn't a religion. Yeah, what Joseph said, smash the opens up. Following Christ's religion. I don't agree, because Christian means to follow Christ. Jesus hated religion. He said, pick up your cross and follow me. Right? So we're supposed to have a relationship with God, bro, not a religion. Like I have a relationship with my Father, not a religion with him. Do I believe the Bible is literal? Yeah. Yep. I mean, it's got some allegorical, poetic language in there, but it's pretty obvious to know what that is. So what I'm trying to say is, I agree with this. We just don't know everything. Christ is within. That's very true. I agree with that. God's within you. He obviously supersedes you. You're made in the image of God, bro. But like, truly seek and speak truth. Mean what you say. Seek logos. Don't back down to people that are trying to shy you away from speaking the truth. And dude, everything will work out, man. Everything always does work out. To just say though, to just like, oh, we're never gonna know. I don't want to look into it. That's disingenuous. But dude, I'm not God, bro. I'm definitely not condemning anybody, bro. That's what made me hate the entire story. All I can say, there's a lot more to it. There's a lot more to the historicity of the story than we've been told. That's weird. And if we're not going to be open-minded and say it's weird, that's cool. Then you can just not look into it. Like I'm not trying to push it on anybody, but that's where I believe, man. I've had experiences. Actually, since I just am freestyling this stream, I'll probably tell y'all one of the stories. Now, I'm not trying to make this like all. The reason this is important is because you need some form of interior contentment to deal with these enemies, especially in 2020, bro. Like, you're gonna get enemies if you speak the truth. If you unapologetically speak truth, you're gonna have enemies no matter what. And I mean, who's not gonna have enemies? But you're gonna have a lot more when you represent what's good. Okay. I'm just some dude, far from perfect, but I know for a fact, and I can truly say that I have nothing but pure intentions. Like I want to wake people up. I want them to realize that they are important, that they're not this little tiny speck of dust that has this little monkey on it that they evolved from. I want people to know that. I want them to know that they have like an immense amount of power in them. I want them to know that the metaphysical is not even disputable. And you have like this power, man. When you do what's right, it's like you have protection. That's what it comes down to, the enemies. Now, what the main enemy is, the light bearer. We've covered that in one of my streams. Again, it doesn't really matter what anyone thinks about it, bro. The people that run the world know this, and that's what they do. So if you think you're smarter than the people that run the world, I don't know what to tell you. If you think you know more about the metaphysical than the people that have successfully run the world for millennia, that's a little weird. You might want to pump the brakes and be a little bit more humble, because I used to think like that when I was younger. Dude, you can say it's fake, but they run the world. So, there's something going on here, for any of us are being honest. So anyway, the light bearer is the actual enemy. He operates through other humans, and then they become your enemies. Okay, we all have a common enemy. And so very simply, it comes down to doing what's right, bro. Like I have people right now I know going through some stuff, and they're going to get it 10 times worse from all angles than somebody that didn't ever try to promote logos, or didn't ever try to promote good, or didn't ever try to stand on those scriptures, okay? You can, again, disagree with me if you want to, man. Just try and listen to what I'm saying, okay? It's important, because we were lied to about it. If all of a sudden you don't care if we're lied to about something because of your predisposition about the Bible, that's weird. That's not the kind of people I like to be around. I'm not saying I don't want to be around you unless you believe in a religion known as Christianity through 66. No. I'm saying if you aren't truly open-minded truly seeking the truth, and then you look at all information without bias and truly trying to see the truth, that's just not the kind of people I want to be around, because then you're not being honest. That isn't honest. Okay, so who cares? We're not even talking. We're just talking about the historical aspect, how it's been hidden from you, and how it's got a lot of tips, got a lot of very wise tips in it that seem to ring true, that seem to need to be misrepresented. It's a spiritual guide. That's weird that they hid it from you and they lied about it, bro. Like, can we just be real? That is weird. Okay. Now, what I'm trying to tell you, man, is there's something real there. And luckily, I'm 27. I've had my own journey, right? I know God's real. I don't fear things now. It's not because I'm some badass, bro. I just don't fear things. I truly don't fear things. Okay? I truly don't fear things. Isn't that kind of crazy? If someone walks up to me with a gun, I'm not going to fear it. Again, that's not because I'm some kind of a badass. No, I don't fear things anymore. I'm just letting you know. I bring this stuff up because I actually hate theological discussion. Hate it. I do this and bring it up what seems to be a lot, even though I really don't want to have theological discussions, because I want other people to know that feeling, bro. It's pretty crazy to not fear things. A lot of people like to say they don't fear things. If you don't have God, bro, you fear things. Okay. The only thing to fear is God. That's a fear of reverence, of respect. What I'm saying is I don't fear death. That's pretty crazy. What would make me, a 27-year-old dude, not fear death? Wouldn't it have to be something pretty substantial? I don't fear death. You can get to that same place. This coincides with the idea of dealing with your enemies, bro. There's literally no reason to fear enemies. Your enemies. There's no reason to fear them. What can they do? They can accomplish nothing that isn't supposed to be done. And if it's supposed to be done, why would you freak out about it? It's supposed to be done. I hope you're following me here. This was a big deal for me in my life. A huge deal. It was a totally different shift, a total shift in worldview. Everyone says they don't fear anything. I can say that I wholeheartedly don't. Again, nothing to do with me, bro. Nothing to do with me. But what I'm saying is the coronavirus, for example, couldn't have even been successful at all in propagating fear if people truly knew God. There's nothing to fear. For one, the coronavirus is the common cold, and it's laughable. And that's in every single, there's dozens and dozens of news articles coming out. 33% of people in this country say that they are scared of coronavirus. 33 new cases, 33 doctors, 33 countries. Everything about the coronavirus got the number 33 in it. We all know there are 33 levels of Freemasonry. That is Luciferianism. Whatever. My point is, it is being crafted by the enemy, pushed to keep you in fear. So if you look at this and if you really take in what I'm saying here, the devil, whatever you want to call him, bro, he really doesn't have any power. He needs you to be scared. Isn't that kind of crazy? Like these little grabblers in the corner, like subverting societies. Like, dude, they don't actually have power. They revere this dude, but that dude has no power over just like me, little old me sitting here. That's kind of weird. Or maybe not weird, just kind of crazy, right? It's the untold story, dude. It's what you weren't told. I told you. You've now heard it. You know what I'm saying? It is the untold story. Because it's weird when you can truly walk around with that contentment. I'm not having fear, dude. It's like you see right through the nonsense instantly. It's crazy. Coronavirus, I instantly knew it was nonsense. Instantly. When you don't allow them to propagate fear, you see through nonsense. There's a spectrum of this, and there's man, there's men's ability to overcome different fears, and then there is men's ability to detach from all men's fears. So I hope you see the difference here. Big difference. Very big difference. There's nothing to be afraid of, man. They are going to do anything they can to propagate fear. It's only going to become ramped up because we are in some time of things being revealed, and those hiding those things being revealed probably aren't going to like it. Does that mean you should be scared? No. That also doesn't mean not to bluntly call it like it is. You know, I have a pretty good amount of discernment. I prayed for it, bro. Yeah, something's going on, right? They're freaking out about something. And honestly, in my opinion, it looks like a whole bunch of little depraved, immoral people running around with their heads cut off, not knowing what they're doing, freaking out, trying to get you to freak out so they can try to control you. That's what it looks like. Okay, but there does seem to be some, order in an extent behind that chaos, and that's just because of the millennial long generation plans intact, right? All right. I know that was kind of, I just thought maybe someone needed to hear that, bro, because I see a lot of people getting scared. Again, I have people that I know either virtually or in life, and they're going through different things. They're constantly getting scared. They're constantly worried about these people that have ill intentions about them. Their baby mama, or their ex, or their significant other at the time, or their old friend, or whatever it is, that are now their enemies. And now they're like constantly worried about it. They're constantly dealing with it. Or all of the, like, for example, all of these little gammas that try and like spam all of my stuff and threaten all these things and dox me and try and bring out my personal life and stuff. Or whatever you think about the Nathan Thompson thing, where he goes, he tells the kids who are being indoctrinated against their will, by the way, just in case you didn't put that together, they're being indoctrinated against their will. He tells them stuff like water doesn't curve, and then the little gamma fight the flat earth, telling people to call the school and pretend to be a parent and try and get him arrested. Really, Craig? And since I've said his little gamma name, dude, I'm not going to debate you because you're a POS, bro. That's why I'm not debating you. Okay? So please stop blowing up my emails, bro. I know that you need your weekly slot so you can make your money, because that's why you do this. No one cares, bro. I'm not debating you because you suck, bro. You suck. Now, it certainly isn't your cosmological understanding that makes you suck. It's you, bro. You keep attacking people, and then you're the definition of a gamma. You're a secret king. You portray and even convince yourself that you don't suck. I'm never disrespectful until this and that. Your opening video is disrespectful, bro. So I don't want to give this little gamma too much time, but I know you like to watch my videos, Craig. Stop emailing me. I don't care. Stop sending your little gamma bots around to my content. I don't care. I could cakewalk through a debate with you. I don't want to debate you. Okay? You're disrespectful. So please stop. My point is, that dude is an enemy to truth. Okay? So if you're seeking and speaking truth, he's inherently your enemy. Does that mean wage war on him? No. And we will get to that in just a second. Quite the opposite. There's no reason to even address it, really. Like, I shouldn't even be addressing this dude. It's kind of exhausting. This dude really should chill. Okay? But yeah, dude, I know you know you're lying. Okay? And so when I know that you know that you're lying and misrepresenting, being dishonest, not holding to any form of integrity or logos, you are now an enemy. Because my purpose is to seek and speak truth and promote logos. If you're diametrically opposed to that, well, really, you have made the decision in which I have no choice but to now have you as an enemy, because you're an enemy to the truth. I'm just a little foot soldier for the truth. You're an enemy to the truth. Therefore, we're enemies. Okay? So my point is, in that situation, getting people to call school and pretend to be parents so you can try to ruin someone's life or hurt someone for real is pretty crazy. That means you are the lowest of the low, bro. For real. And I don't want to get into that. I don't care what anyone thinks about it. Please don't tell me, because I don't care. Okay. Dude was on a public sidewalk well within his rights. You might not agree with his approach, but that's objective. He was in his rights. Okay. That's objective. Now, I personally don't think that's the best approach, but it was spontaneous from what I understand. He just walked up. He was walking his dog. He just walked up. That's what I've been told. Okay. And I believe that. So again, do I necessarily agree with the approach? No, because I know how the world works, and these people are looking for situations because they don't even know that they're actually operating on behalf of the enemy. And this is get a little bit spiritual for some of you, but there's metaphysical entities, and if you don't have some form of logos or protection against those, they can guide your reactions without you even being conscious of it. But my point is, to be fair, bro, aren't those kids being lied to on a massive scale and indoctrinated against their will every day just because their parents are retarded? You know, like if your parents are retard, that doesn't mean that I shouldn't want to try to help the child have a chance, like because most people are retarded. And so they think they know there's a ball. They think they know vaccines are good. And then they shove the kids, they shove vaccines in the kids, and they send them to indoctrination camps to learn all of this pseudoscience. And those kids never even have a fighting chance. Dude, I was talking to someone in Discord today because this kid came in here talking about how he was obsessed with space. You know, a bunch of people that have come to the flat earth realization, one of the big parts for them was having to break up with space, basically, like Karen said on Jaren's show, right? Like breaking up with space, because it's just something fantastical and mystical about it, and it lures you in. Solar system, right? So imagine, because people watch Star Wars, Star Trek, thought they went to the moon, all this different NASA astronaut stuff, right? Imagine being a kid. Imagine being in 9th grade right now, and your country has a space force. So these kids are being propagandized and indoctrinated at a staggering level, like staggering. At the same time, though, there seems to be an inherent balance in all of existence. And so while these kids are being pummeled with an indoctrination at a level that's unseen in modern history, right? At the same time, they have access to more information than ever. And almost every high schooler today in 2020 has heard of flat earth before. Just the fact they've heard it's a thing, even if they think it's completely retarded, 90% chance they do. That's all they've been told. But they've heard of it. They've heard of it. So they can technically go look into it. So it's a double-edged sword. But my point is, dude, we are supposed to defend the kids. And I can say you're not promoting logos or doing what's right if you don't feel the strong urge to go like save those kids, to try and like pull those kids out of being indoctrinated, bro, because that's not fair. It's not fair to them. It's not fair, bro. And they state this global heliocentric lie like it's a fact to these kids. And they tell them they don't tell them this is our cosmological interpretation built off of decades and decades of theoretical nonsensical physics based off of reification fallacies and defying, for example, the second law of thermodynamics and just basic laws of physics, and we lie about cartoons going to the moon and all of it's really not real. But no, they teach them like it's objective, that you're this tiny speck of dust in this ever-expanding universe where everything came from nothing, and evolution's objective. That's how they teach these kids, bro. That's not cool, okay? And like Jesus said something to the effect that if you were going to misguide one of these children following me, it's better that you have a millstone tied around your neck and you be thrown into the depths of the sea. If you truly are seeking logos and what's right, you will feel an inherent need to protect those children. And all of these little social justice warriors that want to pretend like they're protecting the children because he came up to the fence is hilarious to me. Okay. Now, I do understand both sides. I'm not trying to get into the specifics of it. But what I'm saying is, I know Nathan Thompson's good-hearted, bro. I know he is. Okay. And he's really trying to help people out. And he's doing more to do that than 99% of the people over here that are trying to come at him. Why? What kind of a degenerate would you have to be to call on someone, pretend to be a parent so you can hope they get arrested? The same kind of people that would call to the airport and try and get me fired when I was working there. The same kind of people that if I didn't work for myself would call any profession I worked at and try to get me fired. Those same people. The same people that would call a pilot or find out a pilot's a flat earther and try and call and get them fired. Those same type of people, those are the same type of people that all of a sudden they hear the word flat earth come around their children and they think they deserve to be able to take away someone else's rights right? Like, that's disgusting, bro. And it is because, like I said, Nathan is good-hearted trying to speak truth. You may not like his approach. No one cares. That isn't what we're even discussing. The point is, when people are strong and they go speak truth, they have attacks from enemies tenfold than these little gammas or the people that are good-hearted but just don't have the confidence or the audacity to go out and do these things. Or like, I'm about to go do street activism. Most of these people would never do that. Y'all would never do that. Like, what? Like, and that's cool, bro. Everyone has their own lane. But what I'm saying is, like, those willing to do it, are you even in a position to critique how they do it if you don't do it? I don't think so. And so I know I'm going all over the place here, but that's just what I do, right? I just ramble, but it's like, I'm so tired of it. I'm so tired of seeing all of this self-appointed moral superiority, right? And then self-projecting all of these, maybe you will say, immoralities onto other people. Okay, because it's see-through when you are only seeking truth. So here's what I'll say to you. I know a lot of people think they know everything. If you think you already know everything, then everything I'm about to say doesn't matter. I don't even know why you're on this live, honestly, if you think you know everything. I don't know everything. If you think you know everything, I don't know why you come listen to some dude that doesn't know everything, right? That's pretty crazy. But if you seek and speak truth sincerely, bro, you will have a spiritual evolution. I'm still growing, but it's real. It's real. Pray for discernment. Seek discernment. Seek wisdom. Seek strength. Strength to stand up in the face of ostracism or pushback or attacks from any enemies. Dude, you need it, bro. I promise you need it. You might be super strong, bro. You might be like super intelligent. You might be really cool, bro. Real strong, like confident, alpha male, whatever bro. You need God, bro. You need God, bro. And he changed everything about my life, and he do the same thing for you. So I'm not going to get too preachy. I already feel like I kind of have, but I just felt like that's what I was supposed to tell you. So let's come see what you're talking about. Then we'll go through a couple things. And like I said, sorry, I almost didn't even go live tonight, but I realized, dude, I had not gone last night either, so I didn't want to leave y'all hanging. What up, bro? Yeah, I'm 27. Turned 28 April 14th. Oh, yeah. Yeah, no, that's why I'm just trying to wake them up. No problem, bro. Thanks, bro. Glad you enjoyed, my man. Just pass on the logos. You feel what I'm saying? That's all that we need to do. Yeah, I don't fear death either. Yeah, me either. Fear feeds on your soul, man. What if I had a wife and children? That's actually a valid question. If I had a wife, which I do intend, right? Because from my understanding, God gave us the ability to have children as like one of like the main purposes of our life. Like maybe it's not for everyone. Everyone has a different purpose, but like being fruitful and multiply. And I'm pretty sure it's in Enoch. I think it's Enoch, or it's one of the books that were removed. But it explains like that's like what humans were given. That makes us like, that kind of sets us apart. From like, for example, the rebellious angels that came down. Like it's God gave us this ability to procreate and to have a family so that we would not want for anything, for fulfillment. And of course, that's because we're limited to this physical vessel, and the angels are not. And so God basically was explaining, I gave that to them so that they would not want for anything while on earth, right? And so there's something super important about it. If I had a wife and children, I still wouldn't fear death. Like I don't know. I don't have a wife or children right now, so I can't wholeheartedly honestly say, sure, it does seem kind of crazy, but it would be the same thing with how I feel right now. Like I don't fear death. I'm not real comfortable with how it would affect my family if I died right now at a young age like that, right? Like if I died at 27, I wouldn't like, I would be concerned with how my family felt, but death itself, I'm not fearful of. And then again, questions like that. What about a wife and children when it comes to death or any question like that? Dude, you have got to have God. And then you realize, dude, it all works out. God's got your back. Logos is important. Truth protects you. Honesty and protection, more importantly, of course, the source of all those things being God. God protects you. So there's no reason to worry about it. Legend. A husband and $3. I don't fear death. Preach. I fear the pain of death, not death itself. I don't like to hurt. Yeah, bro, even that, dude, whatever, dude, just, I feel what you're saying, but, yeah, I don't know. I used to be kind of weird. I used to almost like pain, but only like certain types of pain. I don't know. That sounds really weird. I know, like when I played football and I'd start bleeding, like it's like I was like exciting almost. Like I would like play like way hard. I like turn it up. But what's physical pain, right? This all extends that. So there's certainly no reason to fear the pain, but I definitely understand not liking it. And how crazy is it that all of those, it's like they're not even hiding it anymore. All of those articles are 33s. There's like 40 of them or more. Exactly. When you see 33 notes of your hoax, I have to agree. I agree with you. There's only 3 degrees. No, there's 33. There's 33 degrees. And in fact, on the 3rd degree is where you have to do your mock sacrifice. And then you can only get to 32. You have to be invited, voted on, and accepted into 33. And we're talking about Freemasonry, 33 degrees. You must be, there's different types, right? They're like Scottish Rite. They're 33 degrees. Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure that it was Owen. Yeah, Owen showed on his stream that in a textbook from like the 80s, it has coronavirus defined as the common cold. Like, I don't feel that great right now. I don't feel sick. I think I'm just tired. Like I think I need to drink a lot of water and like rest. But I'm not like sick or anything. What I'm saying is I don't really get sick. It's really kind of weird. I don't know. Maybe I just was blessed with an immune system or whatever. But dude, if I got like the cold right now, not for even 1 second would my mind be like, I'll probably have the coronavirus. Like never, not even for 1 second. Not even 1 second. Like, what a clown world where people are going and like buying off, like, emptying the shelves in the stores. So stupid, dude. I don't know. It's connected to Kobe Bryant somehow. Oh, well, Kobe Bryant did die in Corona. I don't know if that's what you're talking about. And Russian Viz is a legend. Shout out to him. Yeah, it certainly does seem that Kobe was involved with Freemasonry. The 33 thing is blatant mass witchcraft. Yeah, and isn't that wild? For all those that think they know everything about the fact that God isn't real, please explain to me why the people that run the world feel the need to do these metaphysical rituals on you and this mass witchcraft, like Mr. Anderson just said, massive spell casting. Why? Why would you do that? See, this is I know I come off like I say things with a lot of assertion and confidence. So I think I come off like I think I know everything. I don't at all. I don't think I know everything at all, bro. Like at all. I think there's so much stuff to be uncovered, and we live in the time of things being revealed. It's actually quite exciting, right? But I can tell you one thing I do know. God is real. God's very real. I'll tell y'all in just a second. I hate to tell a story because people like ignore it, brush it off, and immediately just like it takes a while to tell the story, and people just want to like, just like it's exhausting. Every time I should have died in my life, which has been like 9 times, I've had this calming feeling overtake my body. It's the most relaxed I've ever been every time. That's pretty wild. That's awesome. I believe that, bro. You have 33 vertebrae in your spine. Jesus died at 33. Nothing scary about 33. No, there's nothing scary about anything. That's the whole point of this stream. There's nothing scary about anything. Nothing at all. Of course, you should probably fear the power of God, right? That's a fear of respect and reverence. But no, it's not that there's something scary about 33, dude. They've tainted the number 33. It's just like if you look at the astrological data, Yeshua was actually born on September 11th. So what they've done is take September 11th, made it the number that you call cops, which is you calling the state, giving up your rights or your natural responsibility of protection or protection against your family, whatever, self-protection, self-preservation to the state, right? That's what the cops are, okay? An illusion of protection. Sometimes they do. I'm not hating on cops. I'm just saying, sometimes they take 30 minutes to get where the dude is laying on the ground bleeding out. That's all I'm saying. They invert these numbers, bro. If Yeshua was born on 9/11, does that make 9/11 bad? No, but they've done some bad stuff on 9/11, yeah? That's why they don't get to pick their numbers. Their numbers come from metaphysical things, metaphysical truths. So, yeah, 33 is all throughout. It's just like 6 is all throughout creation. Like 666 is the number of man, right? But at the same time, bro, you have to understand that they are taking these truths really founded through the Fibonacci sequence and sacred geometry, and they are taking them for their own metaphysical interpretation, and they're implementing them in the form of sorcery. You have to have eyes to see. All I can do is tell you what I found out. So it's not that anything's scary about 33. It's their marker. It's their metaphysical spell marker. Yeah, I feel you. Pain sucks. Like, immense pain would not be cool, but there's no reason to fear it. If it's going to happen, it's going to happen. I just don't understand fear. But you have to know that God's real. If you don't know God's real, I definitely understand fear, because you're just going to, nothing ever matters. Everything is over after this. I control everything. It's all about me, materialism and apathy and nihilism, and nothing's after this. And it's just darkness. I'll just go into the ground. I don't want to die. Maybe I am going to get sick, and if I get sick, I'm going to die. You see how it's all connected? Why are you scared of an illness? What's the worst case? Worst case with an illness? That you die. Well, if you're not scared of death, you're definitely not going to overreact and freak out about an illness that's being propagated by the same provably fraudulent sources that lied to us about everything, known as the mainstream media. You wouldn't be scared of it. You're not even scared of the ultimately worst case scenario. But if you don't know that and you think everything is just material world, that's all there is, and you're apathetic and your worldview is nihilism, then you will be scared. That's why they have created and crafted the heliocentric deception to help guide you into holding to the worldview of nihilism. Hope I did a good job of explaining that. Satanists bathe the light and darkness. Yeah. Notice how it's never looking straight down at the earth and always cutting in. Oh, here we go. ISS live stream that lasts about 10 minutes. What up, my man? Jose's a legend. As is Mr. Anderson. What up, bro? Sorry, I get shot down and go out of order. Nero is 666. God chose 777. Yeah, the intricacies of creation itself definitely does have the number 6 reoccurring. Lucifer has taken it and twisted it. A Fibonacci sequence, bro. High-level sorcery. That's what it is. It is the manipulation of what is good. That's what sorcery is. Like in the book of Enoch, which I don't know, I have it somewhere over here. Yeah, like it tells you, man, like from the very beginning, dude, they had to do a spell, bro. Everyone should read this book, even if you think you know everything and all religion's fake. Whatever you think you know. I know everyone thinks you know everything. You should read it. Trust me. Like you should sit down and read it. because I've like read parts, bits and pieces here before, and then I've listened to it audio a few times, and I've even listened to a few like in-depth studies of it. But sitting down and just reading it in a peaceful environment, which is what I've only read a few pages, dude, it's wild. It's wild. Yeah, I agree. The black swan is a death blow to the globe. The efficacy comes through like how concise the argument's presented. So they're talking about the ISS. How's it never looking straight down at the Earth and always cutting in and out? It's all fake, bro. How's it go 5 miles a second? You're going 5 miles a second? You're going 10 times faster than the speed of the fastest bullet. I don't think so. No, I don't think you are. From 252 miles away, do you really think that we'd be able to see the ISS? They had to give us something. You know, if they didn't have the ISS, people would be like, there's no way space really don't even have something kind of high. Sorry, trying to find where I was at. Yeah, this is just a real chill stream. I'm reading everyone's chats, man. I didn't have time to like compile a lot of stuff. I've been working. I've just been chilling on Discord talking like while I was doing different work. I just didn't have much time to compile things, man. Once you walk with God and he works through you, you literally fear nothing. I agree. That's why God tells us to fear nothing. Yeah. Actually, let's just go ahead and do that. Let's just read a couple things. All right. Exodus 23:22. Again, dude, just be real. Just take the wisdom, bro. Put your bias aside. If you have a bias about a book, you're being weird. If you listen carefully to what he says and do all that I say, I will be an enemy to your enemies and I will oppose those who oppose you. This is just random. These probably aren't even the best ones, to be honest. Mainstream Christianity seems to have missed the mark. I will grant peace in the land and you will lie down and no one will make you afraid. Hope y'all really taking that one in. I'll grant peace in the land, and you will lie down, and no one will make you afraid. This is, of course, in the time of there being literal giants on the earth. I will remove wild beasts from the land, and the sword will not pass through your country. Luke 6. But to you who are listening, I say, love your enemies. Do good to those who hate you. Bless those who curse you. Pray for those who mistreat you. If someone slaps you on one cheek, turn to them the other also. If someone takes your coat, do not withhold your shirt from them. Give to everyone who asks you, and if anyone takes what belongs to you, do not demand it back. Dude, I think this is such a big deal. I think almost everyone's heard this. A lot of social justice warriors like to use the beginning of this, right? Love your enemies, because they like to propagate their own, moral subjectivity via their moral self-appointed high ground. But if you really take what this means and understand it and apply it to your life, dude, your life will be a million times better. Like, I'm not kidding. So let's just make it big. Read it again. But to you who are listening, I say, love your enemies, do good to those who hate you, bless those who curse you, pray for those who mistreat you. Guys, like, really take that in, because we all know that's easier said than done. Anyway, but to those who are listening, I say, love your enemies, do good to those who hate you. I'm reading this a lot because everyone's heard it, so their mind is naturally programmed to, they're just dismissing this right now, because that's the way I was when I first read it. But really think about every sentiment presented to you and think, what do you have to lose, right? Like, if you apply this to your life and see how it goes, what do you have to lose? right? Like just thinking you know it means nothing. Well, you'll never know. If it means nothing, well, you'll just find out it means nothing. Trust me, that is the best way to go about anything if you're being honest. Okay, love your enemies, do good to those who hate you, bless those who curse you. Bless them. That seems crazy. I understand. Pray for those who mistreat you. That's not always the easiest either. Okay, it's not the easiest thing to do. Like, because here's the deal with praying, by the way. It has to be sincere. It has to be sincere, or it means nothing. It's that simple. That's all it is. That's all it is. You don't have to preface it some way. You don't have to pray in some certain way. Actually, the Bible actually says he hates vain repetitions. Just be authentic, right? But you have to be sincere. It's not the easiest thing to do to sincerely pray for your enemies. I've gotten way better about it, but it's not the easiest thing to do. Something even I need to still work on, I will admit. But dude, try it. All right. If someone slaps you on one cheek, turn to them the other also. Not gonna lie, never really implemented that one. If anyone that's physically, actually, that isn't true. I've actually been like, what we call it, getting snuck. I've had people sneak me a few times and then like hit me like as hard as they could, like in the side, and then me not do anything. That's actually happened a few times. It wasn't that I was scared. It was typically like I didn't want to get in trouble. I have been in trouble for something like that back in the day, for a fight, for like knocking someone out. So I have done that before, but I'll say I understand that was a little hard. And a lot of people say it's metaphorical. It can apply metaphorical and allegorical. It can also be literal. Okay, it applies to all things. Dude, you have to understand. That's why people try to limit God. They try to like limit the scriptures, and they're like, oh, it has to mean this or this or this. No. That isn't how it works. That's how your finite little brain works. But you have got to let go of the ego, let go of oneself, detach from oneself, and pray for discernment. Sorry, I know this is actually turned in pretty preachy, but I just, whatever, dude. This is my stream. If someone takes your coat, do not withhold your shirt from them. Give to everyone who asks you, and if anyone takes what belongs to you, do not demand it back. And dude, I can speak. Well, it wasn't on whatever, you heard me. I can speak from existence, dude. I've had like my entire, like everything that I've owned been like stolen from me like more than once. Like literally, like everything I own has been like taken from me more than once in different ways. Dude, let it be. You know, like one guy who owed me $6,000-7,000. That's a big deal. That's a ton of money in Austin world. I don't know about y'all. That's a ton of money for me. You know, a few years later, he saw me and he came up to apologize, and I was just like, dude, you're good. You know, like whatever, let it be. You know, let money go, bro, because money can really like fog your view, right? And that's why we're told love of money is the root of all evil. So, for whatever that's worth. Do not gloat when your enemy falls, when they stumble. Do not let your heart rejoice. That's another big one. Guys, like, seriously, don't think about this being the Bible. Don't think about that. I'm not preaching to you. Just think about it as some wise sentiments. Really think about these things. Really think about them. Dude, they're not easy. They're not easy to do this, but this is super important. I'm working, like, this has been a challenge for me the last few days. Let's say that, okay? And some people close to me, I'm sure, right? And so that's why I labeled it this impromptu, you know, idea for the stream. It's not easy, but do not gloat when your enemy falls, when they stumble. Do not let your heart rejoice, which means don't even be happy inside. It's not just about being like, yeah, look, Craig stumbled down the stairs and wobbled and fell down. Ha ha ha. It's about like, inside you too, right? It's about your true, pure intentions. This is what this is all about, bro. That's what it's all about. If you getting on my YouTube and telling me you're not scared of something means nothing. It means nothing, bro. Are you truly not scared? That is the question. On the contrary, if your enemy is hungry, feed him, and if he is thirsty, give him something to drink. In doing this, you will heap burning coals on his head. Basically, the only form of revenge is kindness. When you go to war against your enemies and see horses and chariots and a greater army than yours, do not be afraid of them, because the Lord your God, who brought you up out of Egypt, will be with you. Now, this is a literal story, but it still applies metaphysically to you now. Because, dude, we're in a war, bro. If you're going out here talking about the flat earth truth, you are in a metaphysical, spiritual war. You may not know it. You may not grasp the magnitudes of it, but you're in it. And you're on the way. And God's not going to leave you hanging. If you're truly seeking and speaking truth and you're coming out telling people about the flat earth and flat smacking people, for example, that's a very pure sentiment. You're truly wanting the truth out. If you truly want kids to have a fair chance to know about the fact that, well, this earth is in the center of everything and you're super important and they're lying to you, trying to control you. If you really want kids to know that, that's a very pure sentiment. That's logos. That's purity. That's honesty. That's integrity. That pure sentiment. God knows the purity in that sentiment. If you're doing it for some alternative motive, I can't speak on that behalf. What I'm saying is you have the strongest weapon there is, and that is what is right. So do not be afraid when, the army greater than yours come at you. Psalms 138, though I walk in the midst of trouble, you preserve my life. You stretch out your hand against the anger of my foes. With your right hand, you save me. Proverbs 16, when the Lord takes pleasure in anyone's way, he causes their enemies to make peace with them. Let's just stand with that one. No, but that's a big one. Proverbs 16:7, when the Lord takes pleasure in anyone's way, he causes their enemies to make peace with them. That's awesome, bro. Matthew 5, you have heard that it was said, love your neighbor and hate your enemy. I'm going to need some context for that one there. Google. Do not repay evil with evil or insult with insult. On the contrary, repay evil with blessing, because this you were called so that you may inherit a blessing. Okay. Pretty cool. Pretty cool stuff. I know a lot of people immediately have this thing in their mind. They become disinterested when anything out of that book is read. But again, that's part of a spell too, in my opinion. So pretty wild. But we're gonna come here and chat with y'all for a little bit. All I'm saying is really just try those out. That's all I'm saying. Just try them out. Okay. For example, if you don't try them out, stuff like this. NASA finds perfectly rectangular iceberg in Antarctica as if it was directly or deliberately cut. What do you think they're trying to insinuate there? I think we all know what's coming. Okay. We all know some transcendental, super extraterrestrial, super advanced, whatever it is, bro, you are going to have to be content within oneself. You're going to have to be able to withstand the spiritual residue from that spell that's going to be cast. It could be in 50 years. I don't know when it is. Okay. We are in the time of things being revealed. I don't know what that means, bro. I don't know what that means. All these people that claim they know what it means, they're lying, bro. Those that say that they know, it's all going down right now. All those fear mongers, that has nothing to do with God, bro. Nothing to do with God. No man will know the day nor the hour. No one. Okay. But we will know the season. Okay. We're in the season, bro. It could be a long time. I don't know. But what I'm saying is, with those things being revealed, there's all kinds of different countermeasures that are possible. Now, there's no reason to freak out, but if you're not scared, if you're truly not scared, like a lot of people in the comments or in the chat are saying, if you're truly not scared, then you wouldn't be scared to look into these things either. Ignoring them doesn't do anything. But the fear mongering gotta go, bro. That is so weak. It's like repulsive. Yeah, fear nothing. What's up, bro? Oh, is that dude back here? I haven't seen him. I was gonna be Sean Hawkins for some reason. I don't know. I haven't. Did I actually miss his comment or something? Oh no, I think I've been throwing him up here. Well, nothing to do with them small hats. What up? What up, brother? Man. Dude, I've noticed I call a lot of people like bro, and I just kind of assume that they're like, so just don't get offended because no one cares if you're offended. Not talking to you specifically. Just saying I naturally say bro as a befriending term. I thought that was the whole point of this stream and the Flat Earth movement, to find the truth. Yeah, the name of this the title of the stream, bro, was Enemies. But yeah, the whole point is to find the truth. Sure, yeah, that's what we're all doing. We're just being honest about it, and once we find the truth, we don't want to be stingy with it. We want to go out and let other people know the truth so they can be broken from their ideological chains that have been crafted for centuries by these very same monolith power structures that believe that they have some physical, genealogical advantage over you due to their bloodline lineage. You don't have to accept it nor believe it. Doesn't change it. We're just trying to expose it. So yeah, it is all about that. It is all about truth. At least that's my motivation. And Flat Earth is just part of it. Talking about Enoch, maybe? I don't know what's going on. But yeah, it seems like sometimes I get a little preachy without even noticing it. Can't help it. I think it's because I can't honestly speak without it being like that sometimes, and like that will go nowhere. Like that is everything. Meaning what you say, seeking and speaking truth. So, you know, maybe this saloon isn't for anyone that doesn't like it. I'm not real big on like theological rigid dogma, but can't be saved if you take the mark. I think it does sound like that, yeah. If you're here during that time, you'll have to take the mark and miss the 100,000-year reign with Christ. I don't know everything that's going to happen personally. Okay, I see you were responding. Love of money is in your forehead, the cash in. I don't know. A strong delusion has 99% of this world. It's hard to even get people to look at a fraction of what they've been lied to about. Let the dead bury the dead, though, you know? But yeah, you're definitely right. It kind of sucks. That's like the worst part. I guess unrealistically, at times, I feel like, oh, you know, I'm going to change the world, you know? To an extent, you know, like make it, and I'm going to do everything I can, but it's like, it appears people just don't care. People don't even care. So let the dead bury the dead. Dude, I definitely feel you on this one, bro. I find it difficult to pray for my enemies. A struggle. It's real. It really is, man. It really is. Especially when like you're just trying to do what's right, and it's like these like people are just like so depraved and like evil. It's not always easy, but at the same time, what I found, bro, is what helps with that is if you sincerely think about it, or if you genuinely think about it with honesty, it's like I kind of feel bad for them, and so because like that's really sad, and so the sincerity of prayer can come through your genuine empathy or sympathy because you feel bad for them. You know what I'm saying? That's what helps me. Sorry to hear that, bro. And yeah, we don't need to fear death. I agree with you for sure. I think I'm about to start ladling some random topics of gravy because this seems to provoke people to theological discussion. And I just don't. I'm all for the discussion. I'm not big on debates or people proclaiming they know certain things. I don't know. Antichrist and false prophets come before Christ. Indeed. The let go of death or the fear of death. I know how to grow my own food and hunt my own food. I don't need money, but I have accepted it nonetheless. So every one of you, yeah, but I personally don't know that that's the mark of the beast because it says something about taking the mark of the beast. You're like done. It's like irreversible. I can go burn all my money right now. In fact, I have like none. So I don't know. Yeah, I can't help it. Apparently, it's just like what I do. One of the streams gravy, lots of gravy. Can we discuss Enoch? Yeah, sure. I think I'm gonna end up doing like a series thing. Enoch is a great book. Yeah. Actually, just real fast, I will just go ahead and do this. This is for all the naysayers. Okay, so if you don't know, and again, put your bias aside. This is just the most historically accurate compilation in the world. If you don't have a personal connection, you're not going to understand beyond that. That's cool. Well, then just be honest and take in the gravy. The next to last book of the Bible, right? I think this is King James. Yeah, King James. I don't know where my other one is. Anyway, I think it's 28. No, not 28. 14. All right, Jude 14 says, and Enoch also, the seventh from Adam, prophesied of these, saying, behold, the Lord cometh with 10,000 of his saints, to execute judgment upon all, and to convince all that are ungodly among them of all their ungodly deeds, which they have ungodly committed, and all of their hard speeches, which ungodly sinners have spoken against him. Okay. Enoch, the seventh from Adam, Noah's great-grandfather, prophesied of these. Where did he prophesize? Where did he prophesize of that? Where did Enoch prophesize? And then it quotes verbatim what's in the book of Enoch. So yeah, you just go ask a Christian that, and you watch them shuck and jive, do backflips, and try to explain how it doesn't mean what it clearly means because they're not being honest. And that's what pushed me away from Christianity. Now, I'm just going to take what it says, bro. I'm not going to try to twist God's word because it makes me uncomfortable, right? I'm just like the people that skip Genesis 6 and say it's the Sethite theory. No. It says sons of God came into women, made giants. I don't know what you're talking about, That was my biggest turnoff. So I understand anyone in this chat or anyone that sees these that are turned off or have felt like they've already made a definitive decision on it. Open your mind because, truth is stranger than fiction, the greatest story never told, basically. But it has been told, just been hidden. Okay. Can't remember exactly where it is. I'll just read it like this. Yeah, Daniel 12:4 says, "With thou, O Daniel, shut up the words and seal the book, even to the time of the end. Many shall run to and fro, and now knowledge shall increase." So God literally told Daniel to shut up the words and seal the book until the time of the end, and then people will come to and fro, and knowledge will increase. In the very final book prior to the end of the Bible, the next to last book of the Bible, it's one page. It's a letter, the letter of Jude, and it says, "As Enoch prophesied," and then it quotes verbatim what's in there. Okay. And again, God told Daniel, shut up the book until the end. And the way that Enoch surfaced in the Dead Sea Scrolls and was still in the canonized text of one single Ethiopian tribe. Okay, so Enoch has surfaced, and it says, again, it was in the original canon of the Ethiopian tribe. So this isn't just some random book. It was the great-grandfather Noah. Jesus referred to it as scriptural when pushed by the Sadducees. Okay, so the point is, God told Daniel, put the book up for the end, and that when it comes out, people will come to and fro, and knowledge will increase, right? Okay. And the way that Enoch starts is, "The words of the blessing with which Enoch blessed the righteous chosen, who will be present on the day of tribulation to remove all the enemies, and righteous will be saved. And he took up his discourse and said, Enoch, a righteous man whose eyes were opened by God, who had the vision of the Holy One and heaven, which he showed me. From the words of the watchers and holy ones I heard everything. And as I heard everything from them, I also understood what I saw. Not for this generation do I expound, but concerning one that is distant I speak. And concerning the chosen I speak now, and concerning them I take up my discourse." So the very beginning of the book tells you that this book that what he's prophesizing is for those in the end, a very distant generation. And then it goes in very detail. It's telling you about the end, okay, and how God will come and cast judgment with his army, and that's exactly what it says in Jude. So if you don't think any of that's weird, that this compilation of books dating back thousands and thousands of years has been heavily corrupted to be narrowed down to only 66 books, but still has a lot of power in it. But it's been corrupted, 14 books removed from them, all kinds of crazy things. No other religion's ever been attacked like that. No other religion. Again, I'm not religious, but you understand my point here. Okay? And so then a book just happens to surface, and it fulfills that, and you want to ignore it, and then you claim to believe in the book. That's super weird. Super weird. And if you don't believe in the book, but you're not even willing to look at that and be like, well, that's pretty crazy, then that's super weird too. I don't want to get too much into like the depths of Enoch because I want to do like a series on it. I think it's like the most important thing that people need to realize. It's like, dude, seriously, you ask a Christian about that, dude, they'll just start backflipping, making stuff up. Well, no, it didn't mean an actual book to seal up to the end. It meant technology. No, it says a book. Oh, well, it said Enoch prophesied, but it didn't really mean he prophesied. Well, I don't know what he prophesied. It was probably just gone, but it probably just was lost. But no, I promise this isn't it. Do you actually believe in God? Because I used to not think I was real. I know God's real now. So I'm not really big on the B word. Like there is certain extents of belief, right? Because there's only so much you can know, but I know God's real. All right, enough of the preaching. Enoch is the book of the now. Yeah, I agree. Nothing new under the sun. Yeah, exactly. That means that we are just now regaining territory to similar circumstances that we've had before, right? Ecclesiastes 1:9. And if you're not even honest enough to view this as a valuable historical compilation, because we've been lied to about everything. News break, guys. We've been lied to about everything. Everything. We've been lied to about everything. All kinds of history has been completely corrupted. Victor's the author. They've taken it all out. The Romans, the great innovators, no, they were the great destroyers. They destroyed all kinds of information. Ancient civilizations were way, 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 way more advanced. In fact, they understood that energy was free. The idea of having to pay for energy was a foreign concept that would never have been a thing. All you have to do is use water, create the self-perpetual motion that will actually be harnessed via the cavity resonator that is the earth, and then you harness the energy and tap into the ether field that is all around you in the air. So water, earth, air. This was well known, as was many other forms of advanced technologies that we've just have been suppressed from us. Anytime they started to find giant remains, the Vatican swooped in, the Smithsonian swooped in and took it and told you that it was dinosaurs that evolved over billions of years. But you can't see the actual bones because we got to preserve them, or you might get radioactive. You might get sick, radioactive illnesses. Oh my gosh, we're all going to die, radioactive poisoning. So no, don't worry about these bones. We'll take them from you and we'll protect you, but you're not allowed to ever see them. But here, I promise, this is what it looked like. And then they give you some fake ceramic, animation of a dinosaur. And they tell you it took billions and billions of years. That's where we get oil, which sets a certain price on this resource, right? So everything we've been told is a lie. We've been lied to about all of history. We've been told that these things were mythologies. Greek mythology, when in Greece, they teach it as history, right? And of course, again, the Romans were actually destroyers, not innovators. Egyptian mythology, no, it was history. Okay, when you start to realize that we've been lied to about everything, even modern history, even as recent as the perpetual ideological war when we started going over to Afghanistan and the Middle East based on the 9/11, Desert Storm, Vietnam, right? World War II, World War I, the Civil War. We weren't told the truth about almost any of these things. We weren't told the truth, and that's just modern history. We were lied on a much more massive scale, much more immense scale when it comes to all of history. Okay, so my point here being, we were lied to about almost everything when it comes to history. We have the most historical, accurate compilation objectively. This is not some kind of debate. Objectively, I did research. If you're disagreeing, then you haven't. The most historically accurate compilation to ever exist. We still have it. There are certain books that we can tell actually have been removed from the original compilation. It gives us all kinds of details about the lineage of different kings and giants and all these different geographical locations and their importances and their agendas and their gods and how they were revered as gods and what they claimed and what their ideologies were. And there are different types of methods of sacrifice and sorcery and magic and pharmakia. Pharmacy, pharmakia. Pharmakia actually means sorcery, which is where we get the word pharmacy. You start to find out things like this, again, in the most historically accurate compilation ever. And you think you know all religions wrong, right? So you won't even look at it. That's weird. That's not even what we're talking about. We're talking about history. We're talking about figuring out our history. How can we ever know where we're going if we don't know where we've come from? How can we ever better understand the future if we don't know what has happened? How can you not let things repeat or can be better equipped in the future if you don't know your past? How can you be connected to yourself if you're detached from your heritage? That's why they have done this, so that you would fall for the second deception. Okay, so if you're being an honest truth seeker, you would not just, refuse to examine the Bible. That isn't being honest. That's not being honest at all. That's intellectual dishonesty, blatant dishonesty. You have no respect for me. None. Am I saying if you don't believe exactly like I believe, you have no? I'm saying if you refuse to actually examine the historicity, the historical valid or the historical substance of the Bible, you don't get my respect. You can't claim to be a truther. You're not a truther. You're not a truther because you have done no research. Truthers do research and they accept the truth for what it is without bias, and then they implement and apply wisdom and discernment to sift through the gravy, right? Okay, if you're refusing to even look at the gravy because it makes you uncomfortable, maybe you don't like the idea of moral objectivity or accountability, right? Maybe you like to make up your own rules. Maybe you want to define God the way that you want to, whatever it is. But that's weird. But that's not even what we're talking about right now. We're talking about the historicity of the most historically accurate compilation to ever exist. So can we please put our pride aside and maybe try and figure out what the truth is, so we can try, I don't know, to maybe help out the future generations and help protect the children and make sure they know the truth. All right, there's my rant. It's hard when your friends and family are the sheep. Yeah, I definitely know what you mean. But I'm not saying that all my friends or family are, but I know people in my life that are, for sure. What can you do, man? Unfortunately, even in that scenario, you got to let the dead bury the dead. Actually, that's where let the dead bury the dead came from, of course, right? Because Yeshua, the dude was asked talking about Yeshua saying, I needed to go bury my father. He's like, let the dead bury the dead. Enoch is a store of gravy, dude. Enoch is the epitome of gravy, dude. And some people seem so reluctant to read it, and I understand, because it's like one of those things that got real popular within the truth community, but at the same time, I don't understand it. Why would you not at least look at it? It's really short. Like, dude, look how it's not like we're asking you to read the whole Bible front to back. It's just a book, bro. I don't understand, but anyway, dude, it's the definition of gravy, and all of a sudden, everything makes sense. Everything starts to make sense when you add that contextual understanding to the very Bible itself, right? But just history in general, any civilization, if you understand that, it all makes sense. Because, for example, without that, you'll never understand it. And this has been well crafted by the Watchers themselves. Like, for example, if you cross-reference like the Sumerian, Akkadian, Babylonian, Veridas, all of these different historical compilations of spiritual expressions, right? If you cross-reference them, they're contradictory. They'll have similar stories, but they'll contradict. They can't both be, right? It'll be this deity claiming this while this deity is claiming the same thing, right? But they can't both be. They'll contradict. But when you realize, well, all of these spiritual expressions and these deities actually stem from the Watchers, and there's different versions of the deities, and they're all fulfilling their longing to be deified. It all makes sense. Then you understand there were literal hybrids, literal giants. It gets pretty crazy. And of course, in Genesis, it just says, in Genesis 6, it says that the sons of God came into, saw that the daughters of men were fair, came into them. They bore children. They bore Nephilim. They bore Nephilim, and then and there were giants on the earth in those days, men of old, men of renown. Well, ESV says Nephilim. But this says, I don't know where it's at. It explains, though, that the Nephilim were, in fact, the second lineage. Right. So, I don't know. We'll just do an Enoch series. We'll do, I don't know, one a week and cover a few chapters or something. I don't know. It's not like I'm going to read the whole book or something on the stream. Anyway, pretty crazy. We can be saved because we are already saved. Yeah, Jesus' blood is atonement. The innocence of his blood. He'll change the world one good deed at a time. Yeah, we all can change the world just doing our part, man. And what will be will be. That doesn't mean what will be, but that isn't some excuse to just sit back and be selfish and not do your part. And your part could be all kinds of things, like get on YouTube, try and reach people, get on your Facebook, go out and talk to people in your personal life, whatever it is. Don't just not try to wake people up to the fact they're being deceived, because it's not fair for people not to hear. And of course, it's beyond us, right? It supersedes us. God's not going to leave people just hanging, right? He actually expressly tells us this, but we're still used to help make sure that doesn't happen. So there you go. So you can speak truth, mean what you say. Ladle the gravy and the logos everywhere. If people get offended, let them get offended. Enemies will always come at you. Matter of fact, it's almost safe to say that the more enemies you have, The more enemies you have when you're just seeking and speaking truth, the more impact you're having, the more of a threat that the enemy perceives you to be. So it's something to be prideful of. It's something to take pride in, because that means you have an effective approach that the enemy doesn't want to flourish. What up? What up? What up? So world with no end? I certainly don't claim to know. I don't know. Would you? I mean, infinite plane. Would you consider something infinite if it was 500,000 miles in every direction? That seems pretty infinite. I'm not gonna be able to travel that, but technically it's not. I don't know. No, there are ends to the earth. That's my opinion. I definitely don't knock people for thinking like that, though, because we don't know. And dogma is the death of knowledge. Oh, I got way behind. 33 likes. Coincidence? I think not. Illuminati confirmed. God's real 100%, no doubt. That's my boy Kevin. Love for life, you already know. Trying to go up where I don't miss too many people. I'm not going to be able to get them all. Yeah, same. This is what I don't want to make excuses, but this is a big reason why I'm still single. I'm not sure about this. City of Enoch was taken from earth by God. Don't know anything about that, bro. Maybe. I don't know. There's some information that Enoch, with the help of angels, actually built the pyramids, and then they were just imitated around the world. I don't know. Yeah, the Book of Jude. Does it say that? All will receive the mark of the beast? I don't know. I'll have to look in all that. I'm not trying to get into that. That's like that's a theological specific conversation. I agree. Enoch changed the way I looked at the Bible too, bro. It makes the Bible a completely different book. It makes sense. And don't get me wrong, it's not that the Bible doesn't make sense without it, because there was still a preservation of the bloodline. But understanding the context of the Torah and really understanding what Genesis 6 is telling you, super important. So it's not like the Bible makes perfect sense without Enoch. It makes perfect sense without it. But people, it wasn't told specifically enough and blatantly enough and in depth enough when it comes to Genesis 6, where it says that there were giants, that was just enough leeway that men, being corrupted by the enemy, I could say that it was the Sethites. It wasn't actual giants or actually the Watchers and all this. And now the Bible doesn't make sense. When you don't really hear the story about there being fallen angels coming down and having sex with women, making giants that were revered as gods, and they tainted all corruption, they tainted and corrupted all genetics, then the Bible seems, you're like, whoa, what's going on here? Because you weren't taught that. Because you were taught what to believe about God. You know what you should be taught? Here's how to read. Here's a Bible. Go pray and read your Bible. You shouldn't be teaching your kids stuff you don't understand. I'm not saying don't teach your kids about God, obviously, but don't start teaching them doctrines like that. Don't start teaching them like about the rapture when you've never even read that there's a rapture in the whole Bible, because it isn't in there. It isn't in there. That's a man-made thing. Okay. Yeah. So that's the part, dude. I don't think God plays about children. That's all I'm saying. Discussion is healthy. It provokes thoughts and ideas for those seeking truth. I agree. Yeah, dude, as long as you're pure and want to find out, like you're pure intended and want to find out the truth, bro, everything else will work out, man. I think forgiving enemies is a lot harder, dude. It's not easy, bro. It's not easy, but I will tell you, it's been crafted. See, enemies as in human enemies. Yeah, you have enemies for sure that are humans, but like it's bigger than that. All right. It's attack on you metaphysically, bro. But I definitely understand that it's not easy. It's just not always easy. But if if you don't forgive your enemies, they now have, some form of power over you. And so that doesn't seem efficient. I don't know. Praying for enemies is pretty hard too, man. They're both like right up there together. They're intertwined. All my family are asleep and don't want to hear what I have to say, even though I give them the tools to figure out for themselves. They like their bubble in the box. That's all you can do. That's all you can do. They're plugged in the box. You know what I'm saying? So many people are plugged in the box, dude. That's all you can do is speak the truth, bro. Plant seeds, pray for them. Let the dead bury the dead. Sometimes truth isn't always comfortable. It's just always true. No, I agree. It changed the way I looked at the Bible too. I think I might have already responded to that. Oh yeah, I went up too far. Enoch was taken by God. Yeah, one of like 2 people to do so without suffering death. But let's not learn about him. No big deal. You see how backwards you tell me there's not some metaphysical war going on here. I just don't think you have yet the eyes to see. It's quite abundantly clear, and God doesn't try to confuse you. Once you see it, you see a lot clearer. Like divinity is simplicity. The opposite of that is the author of confusion, the master of deception, anything that can be used to muddy waters. That's why there's 4,200 religions and all this stuff. Like divinity is simplicity, all the way down to the very fingerprint of God, the Fibonacci sequence, sacred geometry. This is simple. Like divinity is simplicity. Enoch and Noah both glow with light the more time they spend with God. I believe Moses did too. That's kidnapping. Not sure what you're talking about. Much love. Thanks for joining us, bro. Anything packaged by secularists to aid in delusion is repulsive to decent folk intrinsically. That's a very valid point, bro. Very valid point. So trust like your inherent moral compass. The Holy Spirit wrote the Bible. I agree. The text does not supply the Sethite theory. Sons of God are angels or God's messengers. Exactly. How insane is that? That's just insane. Was taken out of canon at time of Copernicus. Was it really? See, I haven't done like as much, like a satisfactory amount of research into the historicity of Enoch. I didn't know it was around that time. You're talking about Enoch, I'm assuming. Yeah. Well, yeah, the Word became flesh, right? And I think that there's something in the idea of cymatics, frequency creating all material things. It's actually science to explain that. So, frequencies, auditory vibrations and frequencies can manifest matter. Get over it. Actually, what Tesla said, that as the ether was thrown into infinitesimal prodigious whirls of velocity, that it manifests as ether, and then as the motion subsides, it reverts back into the ether. So that was, when I was just saying, Nikola Tesla agrees. A series on Enoch would be great. I really enjoy Rob and Zen and their series on Genesis and Enoch, very thought-provoking, which is healthy, as we all know. Yeah, dude, I think, I don't know, yeah, Robsky was a legend. Yeah, I think it's also very important to read it for yourself too, Pray about it. If I do a series on it, pray about it. If you should listen to me do a series on it. That's how I truly feel about everything. You should maybe be sparked by, have your certain thoughts provoked, or people might be put in your life or in front of you to put things together for you, or to help guide you, or to help ladle gravy, but you always have to discern. I'm no prophet or anything, and I can't prove it yet. Folks, money is the mark of the beast. It's of the world. It's the only way we can buy, sell, or trade. It's the love of money. That is it. I don't know. Yeah, dude, it's some serious gravy, bro. Why would it be in Jude? Why would it be in there? It's some gravy, bro. As Enoch prophesies, like I haven't had one person that there are Christians, right? It's because they're preachers. It's because they're deacons. It's because they've been in church for 25 years. They're the perfect Christian. So for them to ever admit that there was a book that wasn't in this book they've had this whole time, it's too much pride for them. It's too much ego. They can't do it. But how can you explain how in that very book, the next to last book of the Bible, says, as Enoch prophesies? Where did he prophesize that? Where did he prophesize that? Like no one can answer it. It's very simple. He prophesied it in his book. And if you, the important part here is if you cross-reference Enoch with the whole scripture, it doesn't contradict anything. They want to say it's pseudepigraphical, esoteric. No, you're just regurgitating nonsense words that other people told you to so that you could discredit this thing that has surfaced for us to have our knowledge increased. Wonder where that came from. Oh, the enemy. And then they put out Enoch 2 and 3, just esoteric, Gnostic belief, crazy, contradictory books so they could discredit the first one. Pretty easy to see when you have eyes to see, that's all I'm saying. I'm just some dude. God will give everyone eyes to see. I'm just starting to see things as discernment and wisdom increases. Wow, that's awesome. Yeah, dude, this chat is like some serious logos. That's why I'm all about quality, not quantity. Like our chats are like logos, gravy flowing. The world's a stage, yeah, literally. I was wanting to get a picture book for learning Hebrew. Anyone have a suggestion? I don't. Oh, yeah. Giants are a real thing. The real question are, do giants come back? That's the real question. Do they have a different type of deception 2.0? Because for me, they wouldn't have had to hide the giants if they knew they were going to come back and if they weren't going to come back. And if you have the ability to have giants, why would you not utilize that physical advantage? Except if you're evil and the enemy of God, you would. So, yeah, seems to me very likely that the giants just reemerge. Look at the dollar bill. How many? Yeah, I don't think anyone's disputing that money is real evil, but I don't know if it's the mark of the beast. I personally don't know. Money itself isn't bad. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a love of money. Now, I think that we just kind of I think we might sometimes put the Bible into these boxes that make sense to us at the time because we don't really take in like nothing new under the sun. Maybe there will be a point where atheism is dead. Everyone knows there's metaphysical and spiritual, and there's some deity or deities that people worship, and they're giving their marks out. I mean, I don't see how that's just out of the realm of possible, like literal marks. So I don't know. All I know is I know one thing for sure, bro. What's in your heart's what's important. And you can't lie to God about what's in your heart. You can lie to me. You can lie to anyone else. You can lie to your church. You can do whatever you want to do. But God knows what your true intentions are, where your heart truly lies. You may think that sounds corny. That's just the truth, bro. Like he knows. So you have to do what's truly right. You have to truly mean what's truly right. You have to seek and speak truth and mean what you say. Be guided by logos and purity and truth. All these cliche things you've heard, you need to really take them in and understand that God does know no matter what, bro. And so if it's about your heart, it's about your heart. So there you go. It's the same life from the beginning. Adam knew Eve. Nothing has changed. Yeah. It's going to be the same sales pitch that you yourself can become a god. In my opinion. And all we are players, performers, and portrayers, each other's audience, our side, the guided cage. Pride's the mark. I don't know. Bible is his story. Jesus. Hidden truths around the Vatican, like giant remains. Why wouldn't we be lied to if the devil is real? Yeah, exactly. Master deception, author of confusion. I think a lot of people might not want to believe he's real, bro. I would love to camp out in the Vatican library. Dude, and just read. How awesome would that be if we just get a week pass and just cram read? Like a group of people. That sounds like a good time. Not sure what's going on here. Yeah, victory is always written by the victor, yeah. That doesn't mean that all history is wrong, though. It's all about discernment. That's why, dude, people are going backwards, in my opinion. They're trying to understand everything through their cognitive, carnal mind. You got to pray for discernment, pray for discernment, pray for discernment, pray for wisdom. Also, stop watching porn and drinking fluoride. Yeah, stop having depraving thoughts. Stop, I'm not perfect. I'm just letting you know, man, spiritual clarity comes with spiritual obedience, and you have to seek discernment, man. You have to be, dude, have pure intentions, man. It speaks of Israel and Babylon, period. Babylon, 62 miles south, I believe, of Baghdad, and has the world's second biggest military installation. Guess who refurbished it? America. That's not weird. No way a Christian thinks the devil hasn't been at this thing for thousands of years. Yeah, exactly. If you are a Christian, which means to follow Christ, you should probably know inherently that means the devil's been working on his little plans this whole time, right? Nathan Thompson got arrested for teaching children truth. Yeah, I discussed that a little bit earlier. I don't know if you were here, but dude, I talked to Nathan, bro. Me and Nathan are cool. I support Nathan. I can tell that he's truly a good-hearted person that's seeking and speaking truth. And so he's got my support. And if people want to get upset that he went and said water doesn't bend to a bunch of kids, well, it sounds to me like you're a little baby. It sounds like no one cares what you think. And also discussed how it appears that this little fight the tight shirt Gamma Craig dude, he was encouraging people to call the school and pretend to be parents to try to get him arrested. Kids are being forcefully indoctrinated with lies about the very place that they live, detaching them from the one that made them. And if we want to tell them, look, just so you know, there's actually a different option, bro. Okay? All the evidence actually shows that, water doesn't bend, that the earth is flat, the earth is the center of everything, and God made you, and it's super important, and the Bible's real. If you want to be able to go tell the kid that, so then the kid at least knows, there's more than one option, as opposed to just being indoctrinated this is a thing that, what are you doing? As opposed to just being indoctrinated thinking this is just objectively the truth, we're a tiny speck of dust and you're a monkey, right? There's somehow we're the bad guys. Again, from my understanding, he was just walking his dog. He saw the kids. They came up to him and wanted to give him some flowers. They freaked out, heard him talking about flat earth, and then he yelled that water's a bin and stuff whatever. That's called First Amendment. You may not agree with his approach or whatever, dude. He objectively was within his rights, and it's obvious that the people fight the flat earth. What kind of a person do you have to be, bro, to try to hope for someone's downfall like that, and like try and set it up and be like, go call this school and act like parents or anything like that, or make hit pieces on people. It's just like, and like people have tried to dox me and like find out my personal information and like constantly spam me with like the most vulgar, vile, like death wishes and all this stuff. And I'm like, what is wrong with you people, bro? Like it's sad, you know what I mean? And that's why we went over the verses about the enemy thing, man. Like, if you truly understand like how sad it is that people live like that, it's easier to forgive them and to pray for them. And it says pray for your enemies. And like I said, that was one of the hardest things I had to deal with for a while. Dude, you're about to get in trouble with Enoch because I've already told you like 2-3 times to stop. Every time I start talking again. What a loser. Very odd things happening with the likes. Hey man, the Grabblers don't like me. The Grabblers don't like me. They took my 6th stream off. They've limited every one of my streams. So yeah. Smash the Rogans up. Help us break the algorithms. But yeah, man, the Grabblers don't like me. That's obvious. I don't even cuss. What a clown world. But Enoch opens up so much truth in the Bible and makes sense. Oh, I agree, bro. I think it's the most important thing people could read. Well, but my point, I guess, when I was talking about it was like, well, you know, it is only recently surfaced. So it's not like no one understood, no one can know the true story back in the day, but it seems a lot don't. You know, and then Schofield Bible was introduced in 1909. All this nonsense about this literal state of Israel important so they can justify getting you to go fight these wars. And allegedly. There are only 2 spirits in this world of God, the Creator and the spirit of Satan, the one who disobeyed. Can't disagree with that. There's a lot of spirits, but yeah. They are programmed to not add or subtract from their Bibles. Yeah, but they actually constantly add to the Bible, though, you know, ironically. I don't know about all that. I'm not a preacher. I just speak the truth, man. And God gave me a sign when I prayed for it, and He confirmed it, and now I don't have a choice, you know, so is what it is. I mean, I guess I do have a choice, but how stupid to know God's real and turn from Him. Dumb. Well, I mean, how does anyone not know God's real? I really don't understand it, but whatever. Hey, bro. Dang, bro. I thought I was getting to the bottom. Then it just shot me all the way down. I'm not going to lie, guys. I love you guys, but I'm not going to be able to keep doing this comment thing. I like talking to y'all, but I'm obviously not going to be able to just. Dude, whoa. We are way up here. Oh, man. Yeah, get it off 33. I'm sure it's not there still, surely. All right, guys. I'm going to have to skip down. Also, I don't know what's going on with YouTube. They're acting kind of weird when it comes to the whole monetizing thing, but we'll see. And then, of course, PayPal isn't a thing anymore. I have a Cash App down there. It's probably the best way. Let's see. Enoch didn't die. God took him. Exactly. Kabbalah proves the Bible is 100% true. Well, yeah, but their inversion of the true metaphysical teachings give validity to it. I would agree. Catalytic Christian thoughts. I think what he's saying is like how they've inverted it. I can't speak for him, but the inversion of the metaphysical teachings That's the way I took it, and I agree with that. The inversion of the metaphysical teachings add validity to the original teachings, right? Like, it's just like, why do all of these people invert every single thing about Jesus if Jesus isn't real? If Jesus isn't the only true right way, right? Why? Yeah, true. Your enemy could always make a change, turn to Jesus. Exactly. Sorry, guys. I gotta skip down some. This thing just shot up. StreamYard just shoots them all up at one time. Like, this is a verse that the LDS have a big problem with, since they think they will be gods one day. For me, and there was no God formed, and there will be none after me. Oh, yeah. I see what you're saying now. We're not gods. We're just creation. That's the same sales pitch that was in the beginning. You can be a god. No, you're made in the image of God. Why do you need more, man? Like, it just blows my mind. Why do you need more? You were given, like, as a human, like, the angels are jealous of us, bro. Okay, and as a human, you get this physical life. You get to make babies, have a wife and a family that fulfills you, like all those different things that you can enjoy in this physical vessel, right? And you have your spirit. Thus, you have your soul via your body and your spirit, and then your spirit, supersedes your physical vessel, right? So, what is there to complain about? Like, it's ridiculous. Lack of gratitude is repulsive. Like, it gets on my nerves a lot, and that's why everyone's tripping. If everyone was grateful for the simplicity of things, they wouldn't be so fearful. You know? You wouldn't be freaking out all the time. You also wouldn't be doing little gamma male things like this Craig kid. You wouldn't be like wishing ill intent on people. You wouldn't be like an enemy to truth, right? Like, it's a lack of gratitude. And that, of course, goes hand in hand with inflated ego. It's the ego. Pride comes before the fall. We've all heard that. Where did that come from? It came from the Bible, bro. And it does. And ego, these people that have such a high self-appointed, inflated feeling of self-importance, they'll never see the truth, because the truth has to go through their lens of subjectivity that they prefer. Giants are already here. They just aren't tall anymore. Well, the way that I see it, which is just speculative, there were the original ones that they came down. And it says in Enoch that they took any woman they liked, which means none of them could turn them down. They picked any woman they chose. And it does tell us that women are the weaker vessel. You have some metaphysical thing coming down and taking physical form and seducing you and teaching you sorcery or performing sorcery and magic on you. So they took any woman they chose. A lot of the stories say that women died during birth. I don't know if Enoch does specifically. I haven't read it in a while. But they were crazy big, and then they got smaller and smaller and smaller as they passed their lineage on. Right. And then the watchers were cast into bondage. They get out after 70 generations. And then Psalm says generation is 70 years. So 70 times 70 is 4,900 years. So some estimate that to be around the 1850s, 1900s. All I'm saying, the whole point of that is, yes, I do think that the elite bloodlines, they think that they stem all the way back to some of these Nephilim bloodlines. But when the watchers return, so they're working for them. Okay. They're working for the watchers, the fallen ones. And they're carrying out all of their plans for their metaphysical masters, right? And they think that they're super important because they stem back. But when they come back, they're not going to care about those people. They're like, what? You're thanks or whatever, but like, you're weak. They're gonna think they're weak. They're like, look how small you are, and look how like watered down the purity of the blood is. That's why blood's such a big deal. It's a life force. And it's about this story. Okay. And they're like, okay, we're good, bro. I think you did your job. Thanks for helping us set up this world and whatever. That's how I see it. And because then they're going to like breed with women again. But I don't know. I don't really know. It's all speculative, but pretty crazy. I think giants could be reintroduced on an immense physical scale. That's what I'm saying. Giants may come back as aliens. I definitely have thought this too. What if the aliens are giants? Like, what if they are giant aliens? I do think that they're setting it up to make it look like aliens are going to come here, though. And they're going to say they're extraterrestrial, which is why they need the heliocentric lie. Almost every flat earther I know has obviously heard that theory before. I mean, before I even knew about flat earth, I said that they were going to claim that there were extraterrestrial aliens and they were interdimensional. I said that years and years ago, like 8, 9, 10 years ago, with my boy Nate. And I didn't find out about flat earth until like four years ago. So I still feel that same way is what I'm saying, which explains the motive for the huge lie. And of course, it does say there's like the greatest deception of mankind, right? Deception will be so great that if it were possible, even the elect would be deceived. The Bible says, same as the days of Noah, giants come back. I don't disagree with you. I think it might be like deception 2.0, just like a little different. I've mentioned thought-provoking several times tonight, and I believe because the way the stream started with the thought that people think they know everything, it's a very easy trap to fall into. Because grabbing they saw us as better. I'll just kidding. Married to an ex-Mormon, they follow Joseph Smith now than the Bible. Yeah, rather than the Bible, yeah, for sure. And they Mormons think that Jesus was the brother of Lucifer and that this was just his planet. Well, that's how we know you're wrong. There aren't even planets. So you're objectively liars. So whatever. I think a lot of them might be innocent. It doesn't change the fact that the doctrine itself is just patently false. There are no planets. So clown world. But yeah, from my understanding, Mormons think that Jesus and Lucifer were brothers. This was the planet that was given to Jesus, and that we are all gods, and that we'll get our own planet eventually. Yeah, trust me, I know it sounds pretty crazy. Yeah, I followed you, brother. Lower members don't believe there'll be gods. They are deceived under the Masons. Every Mormon I've ever talked to says they think that they can become a god. I don't know. They're real big on twisting scripture, I can tell you that much. One must get out of their own bubble quick, getting high on their own scent. Sure. God gave us free will to prove ourselves to him for show. Yeah, and imagine if you created things and then angels like rebelled against you. They're like, okay, look, now humans, prove yourself. I don't know everything. I don't like to even try to understand God, but a lot of people, they're cop out. It's really because they're scared or they don't like accountability or moral objectivity or just the idea of it. So they say stuff like, why would Jesus ever even make humans? Why is there anything bad? Like they always try to judge God. Like, what a joke. What are you? Chill, bro. Like, if you think you're such a real one, at least be real enough to admit you just don't like the idea of having to be held accountable. Don't try and play God. They believe in planets. Mormons believe in planets. There are no planets. No, money's bad. We don't need money. I mean, but dude, Jesus said give to Caesar what is Caesar, so that had to be money, right? I don't think that I'm pretty sure God supersedes social constructs. Austin, that's what defines you from the rest. What is in your heart? I agree exactly. 1,000,000%, dude. I'm glad you see through the snake oil salesman named Joseph Smith. Congrats. What's up, John? How you been, bro? Hope you're feeling better, man. King Nero made people get a mark to trade or sell. Okay. See, that sounds like what I think is that because the theory being that King Nero was just kind of like he's coming back. And so he'll get an actual literal mark. I personally don't see that far fetched. If you really look at the whole story of the Bible, that is light work. We're talking about giants, huge giants, all kinds of different gods, child sacrifices, passing through the fire, wild, crazy stuff. If you really look at the whole history of the world, using Enoch and the Bible and praying for discernment and looking at the rest of the historical documents that you can find and information, the story of the world is wild, crazy. Nothing new under the sun. Nothing new under the sun. Right now, really, our society right now is laughable compared to what's been here. And then the idea that these beings, they reappear, and then they convince dumb humans that are driven by fleshly desire or lacking spiritual discernment, turn to them and deify them, and they're like, take this mark. Dude, if it's anything like it used to be, they'll take the mark in a heartbeat. They used to sacrifice their children to them. In fact, they used to still constantly work for them, and then they would start eating the humans, and the humans were still helping them. So it's like, hope you see what I was trying to say there. It's not that crazy to me at all that there'd be a physical mark. One thing I do know, though, is it's about what's in your heart. Now, if someone comes out and he's like, I am God and all this stuff, and he tells you have to get a mark to buy, sell, and trade, yeah, I wouldn't get it, because I'm pretty sure that Danielle's right when it says like that's irreversible. But I don't know. A lot of people are like, I used to think, well, there's no way it'd be that blatant, right? Because even atheists know that story, and they'd be like, whoa, what's going on? But no, we're not really. We're trying to jump ahead of ourselves. That's the carnal mind, not understanding everything again, right? That's the physical limitation of the cognitive ability, trying to supersede the importance of wisdom or discernment. Like, dude, if something like that takes place, the amount of awe that will generate, if you're lacking spiritual eyes to see, you will fall for a ton of things. The deception will be so great that if it were possible, even the elect would be deceived. A deception the likes the earth has never seen. Now that's crazy, right? But we just discussed how crazy deceived the world has become before. I mean, the world was flooded because there were no pure genetics left. And the second time's with fire. A deception of the likes the world has never seen. The deception will be so great that if it were possible, even the elect, the chosen, would be deceived. I mean, dude, come on, that's wild. What we're seeing right now, in my opinion, that's not even close to what's coming. And again, it's not a big deal. I don't know when. I'm just some dude. God started talking to me, bro. It brought me back to him. Okay, that's what really happened. I kept my phone. We were in the end. Like, he was telling me we're in the end. I didn't even wasn't even close to God. I was like, okay, I'll pray about it. He confirmed to me. I opened up the Bible randomly after I prayed for that. I actually prayed for an undeniable sign, which is pretty arrogant. And I flipped it right to Ezekiel 38, where it started right at the top left of the page. So, we're in the season of the end, time of things being revealed. That's all I know. But I don't promote fear. There's nothing to fear. At the same time, you do have to seek and speak truth, expose the darkness to light. So there's a thin line to walk there, where just turning your head to some of these things is irresponsible, spiritually irresponsible, in my opinion. The Bible says, do not follow traditions of man. Yes, dude, and that's like the biggest problem. It's the biggest problem. Money's merely a means of exchange. The hijacking of the financial system is altogether a different thing. We all need to understand economics better and hold our representatives to a higher standard. Sure, 33. Oh, Illuminati confirmed. Shroud of Turin could be real. It's an X-ray of a person. It was the light of God's resurrection power could have created at the time of spark of life. Oh, here we go, dude. I don't believe in Christian, Lutheran, Catholic, Muslim, Baptist. You either follow Jesus or you don't. Let your old man be crucified as Jesus walked. Then you are a follower of Christ. Dude, Joseph, I like you, bro. I agree with everything you just said, like word for word, dude. Here we go, though. Random guy standing at the schoolyard fence trying to hand stuff to the kids. Damn right they're going to protect the kids from the crazy person. Yeah, says the person who has a very low IQ and stalks all my content while saying I'm stupid. That's pretty crazy, bro. Don't you think? I'm sorry that you don't understand what's going on, bro, but the kids are being lied to and detached from creation, bro, and the fact that God loves them. Just because you don't want to accept that doesn't mean the kid shouldn't have a chance to hear both sides. Actually, the kids came up to him. Yeah, he tried to give him some flyers. I understand the approach might not be the best because in general, I'm sure that they don't let people walk up and start giving stuff to the kids. Okay, I understand. The point is, he was well within his freedom of speech. He was on a public piece of land, on a public sidewalk, and then little gammas, like the people you look up to, all tried to call and pretend to be parents and get him in trouble. That's objectively lame. And only your side would do something like that. Only your side, bro. Wow, Austin, thanks. You read my heart. I needed to hear it. No problem, bro. That's what I'm talking about. It means of exchange. How can we exchange without money? I think we're far beyond the barter and trade period, personally. Can you imagine a bunch of scholars freaking out about flat Earth in Enoch's day? Boy, how we have fallen and continue to fall at a rate of 32.2 feet per second squared. Go figure. Dude, you're right, dude. That's a pretty valid point. Imagine someone like someone in Enoch's day being like, there's a ball. Dude, what if they did that the first time? I don't think so. No, they didn't. They obviously did. Well, there was the flood. So, what if there was a flood and then all the ancient civilizations after that, understood the Earth was flat again? But no, I don't think so. I think everyone just always knew. Imagine them though, everyone knows the Earth is flat, have immense spiritual discernment and wisdom and understanding, right, about the actual universe and even what's beyond the universe, of the Earth and what's beyond that, the metaphysical realm, probably the ether field, all of this, and then someone's like, I think the Earth's a globe, they probably kick them out of society, bro. And now they're trying to do that to us because we're speaking the truth of this existence because they don't know how to do their own research. They don't know how to swallow their own pride. And they're very weak-minded. They've been socially engineered to be weak. And they need consensus. They need conformity. They need social acceptance, social approval. What a clown world. It's the exact opposite of being a man, literally. Hola. Love you and your work, brother. I gotta hit the hate though. Keep it up. Awesome work, bro. No doubt. Love, bro. Thanks for coming. Were you taught in elementary school about Columbus and the fear everyone had about the world being flat and falling off the edge, but Columbus set out in spite of the fear? Yeah. Yeah, what a joke. He didn't even come here. What a clown world. That's supposedly why Nikola Tesla believed in it. It's been definitively proven because Columbus, he discovered the Americas utilizing the Copernican model. Well, Tesla, no, he didn't. I actually think Tesla found out he was way too smart not to know the Earth was flat. Way too smart. He found out the Earth was flat, and he was like, dude, they're lying to everyone about the Earth. I might be in over my head. I need to kind of, start moving like James Bond. That's my opinion. Way too smart. He also discussed the firmament, how it seemed to be made of some type of metal. I think an 18-year-old with sixth grade education used 16 proven differing literary voices to write the Book of Mormon. That's laughable. Read and pray about it. It's Word of God. The Book of Mormon claims that Jesus owned this planet and that we all get our own planets. But the Earth isn't a planet, so right there, it's wrong. I'm not sure exactly what you were saying, to be honest. If you think about it, we're already marked. We need ID, Social Security, etc. Yeah, it's a pretty valid point. But the way that I look at it is it's not going to be something like that, because we were born into that. I didn't agree to have a birth certificate, you know what I'm saying? And in my opinion, of course, everyone knows my opinion, right? I subscribe to the Scriptures. It's the most historically accurate compilation. But, it's basically saying, you're going to have to make the decision. You have to make the decision to take that mark. So that's why I think it really will be some. I think that almost always God's never trying to trick us, and it's like real obvious and blatantly obvious when it happens. I think it literally would just be something that most people think are crazy, and that's why they're trying to figure out how it applies to this current social construct. I know that what's in there is going to happen, so like I don't really feel the need to do that, and like I think that there will be a reintroduction or manifestation of some form of deified figure, and he'll have the deception will be so great, his ability will be so great, that people will just do whatever he says. I mean, they used to sacrifice their kid through the fire. Like people sacrifice their kids now via abortion. And that's disgusting, and it's baby murder, literally murdering babies. So you should probably chill if you're going around advocating that. But they used to like literally take their babies and give them to them, or like as they were born, give them to pass through the fire. So I know that's kind of morbid, but my point is, if there's some form of metaphysical creature or self-proclaimed deity, humans will do almost anything, right? Taking a mark doesn't seem too far-fetched, but I don't know. We are definitely corporate entities, I'll tell you that much. The planet stuff is not an ancient text of the Book of Mormon. It's in Doctrine and Covenants written by modern men. So you don't agree with the whole Joseph Smith thing, I think that's what you're saying. Yeah, they believe that Jesus and Lucifer are brothers and that Jesus got this planet, man. That's what they believe. So I just don't. That's just not the truth. Oh. No. Lucifer's evil, and he masquerades as an angel of light to make you think he isn't evil. Do you think Scripture is just a way of people trying to explain things with what information was given to them at the time? Do you think there is higher information within Scripture? I think that they're God-breathed. I think that maybe sometimes the full immensity of what was entailed in the Scriptures weren't even known by the authors in their mind, their carnal mind. I think because it's a Scripture that's not bound to time, right? It's like, yeah, I hope you feel what I'm saying. So yeah, there is higher information within Scripture when it comes relative to the author's carnal mind. If you follow what I'm saying. They're just way too accurate to just hand-wave dismiss. If you just hand-wave dismiss the historical compilation of the Scriptures, you're not intellectually honest. You get no respect from me. You can say you don't believe in it. You can say you don't believe that Jesus was divine. You don't believe in any type of religion or any type of God. That's super cool, bro. Like, I used to be the same way. I hate people that try to push religion on people. Like, I hate it. That's why I hated it. I didn't want to look at the Bible myself, so I understand how that evolves into that. But if you can be told about the historical value of it, it's objectively the most historically accurate compilation that exists, and you can't even read it for that, or at least like consider it valuable for that, you just lose a whole lot of respect from me, because it's like, what good is rolling around with you going to do? You know what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't look like we're going to find a lot of truth with you. You predetermine and predispose different pieces of information, like, based on bias. Dang, we're already over 2 hours. I don't know about all that. That's wild. I never fed the Holy Spirit reading the Book of Mormon, only the Bible. I've definitely felt the Holy Spirit reading the Bible. That's why I don't know what to tell people, because I'm like, dude, I swear it's real, but I can't bottle it up and show you, dude. Like, I don't know. And it's like, even my friends that know I'm not a liar, like, they know that I pride myself on honesty. They know that I'm not lying to them. They think, well, I must just truly believe it, but it can't be real, right? Like, some of my friends that haven't fully come around, God is working on some people in my life though that have been like staunch atheist, agnostic their whole life, but which is pretty awesome to see, But it's like, even them knowing 100% I'm not lying to them, they still just don't see it. It's like, what can you do? I'm like, that's why I try not to do too much with the anecdotal experience thing, because it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Like, people, when I heard that stuff, it didn't mean anything to me. It's like, oh, cool. You say you had that experience, so that's cool. Not talking to you in general, but I'm just saying, but yeah, Dude, I know for a fact that God's real. That sounds like a bold, crazy thing, or not that God's real. People would concede that because the necessary antecedent to creation is the creator, right? That's really pretty common sense. But like I know there's something very, very important about the Bible. And dude, I haven't just read the Bible. Like I studied the Quran. I didn't read the Quran front to back or anything, but I studied the Quran. I studied the Veritas. I studied a bunch of different things: Sumerian, Akkadian, Babylonian, historical tablets. I studied a whole bunch of stuff, bro. The Catholic doctrine. I studied all kinds of things, like Hinduism, Buddhism, because I wanted to make, dude. There's something incredibly different about the scriptures, the Bible, and Enoch. Very different. Very, very different. And if you've never felt the Holy Spirit, then you won't understand. So, what can I do to explain it? Just seek it. God says you seek and you'll find him. It's genius, bro. It's full contradiction. Stop. I'm assuming. I'm hoping that you're not talking to me. Oh, yeah, you're not. You added someone else. I'm not. What? I believe much of what was written with our disconnect to the metaphysical spiritual world in mind, writing in such a way we will conceptualize the spiritual ramifications, our interactions. But that's just my opinion. Yeah, I don't, dude. All I'm saying is, there's there's 24,000 ancient manuscripts that corroborate the New Testament alone, over 5,000 in Greek. It's not just like someone put a book together and then they were like, here you go. It's not like that at all. It outnumbers the historical validity of any other work ever. Like, have you ever heard of the Iliad written by Homer? That's got like 500 copies over the course of hundreds and hundreds of years. And then the New Testament alone has like 24,000 copies, like over 5,000 Greek copies, and it's like in less than 100 years. So it's like not even close. And in fact, people always say this number. They're like, the books weren't even written until 70 years after Jesus. That isn't true at all. At all. That's the stuff that made me reconsider everything, bro. Was when I was like, every mainstream talking point about him wasn't true. Like, no, he actually appears like he was crucified like in 30 AD range, right? And there were writings as early as like 40. So no, and actually some oral teachings and stuff, obviously right before, right after, and during, and leading up to 40. So we were lied to about the whole story, bro. And the point is, if it's just religion used to control you, why would you want to misrepresent the religious story you made to control people? Who cares? You've already got the misrepresentation of reality out there to control them. It doesn't make sense. And if you're being intellectually honest, you know it doesn't make sense. So yeah, I think they were God breathed, but you're gonna have to have your own personal experience. Dang, this has been so theologically specific, like it's been a theological discussion from beginning to end. I guess the main enemy is Lucifer. What are you gonna do? Enemy, bad, evil, whatever you want to call it. Love your enemies, man. Yeah, the Book of Mormon isn't real, man. That's my opinion. I guess everyone can think whatever they want, but Mormons do believe that Lucifer and Jesus are like spirit brothers, and that Jesus was given this planet, especially if you're taking Joseph Smith's interpretation, which is what modern day Mormonism is. And that we're all gods and we can all evolve into getting our own planet. But that's why it's so work based. It's so work based because you have to be able to get to where you can evolve into your God state. I don't want to. Oh, this has been like about all religion. It's so crazy. It's so crazy. Like I might have to stop reading all the chats, guys. Like I love y'all, but I'm getting dragged in. I trust in Yeshua, but not corporate church. I think that we agree on exactly what's going on here. I wonder if I write Jesus is my Savior, he will actually read something I write. What have I been skipping? What you've been saying, man? I've been trying to read. Did you realize that there are hundreds of comments on here, right? And that none of them are super chats, and I'm sitting here reading them all out, and I've been on here for over 2 hours. Maybe you didn't realize all that. Heaven is for heathens, but that's why God gave you your own temples. Time to say bye, bull. Okay, so that's what you were complaining about me not reading. Heaven is for heathens. What? No, heavens are above us in the sky, and we can't go there, and it's beautiful and amazing and incredible. It looks incredible to me, so I'm not sure what you're talking about. That's what the heavens are, is the sky. And we've been lied to about the very nature of the sky, and we've been told that it's this heliocentric model with immensities of distances and vast distances and crazy sizes and orbital trajectories and gravitational waves and a black hole and all this nonsense, dark energy, dark matter, all these different things, and tell you that it's ever expanding infinite universe and you're a tiny speck in it, when the truth is that the earth is the center of everything. Everything revolves over top of us in the heavens, and they're incredibly beautiful. It was all crafted for you, that you're incredibly important, of course, inherently being the center of everything. And with that beautiful layout of creation, how could it not be that you were crafted if you have domain over the beauty that is the very nature of this earth? And so, yeah, I don't think that heaven is for heathens. I think that, well, heaven seems pretty awesome, so to each their own, but I like heaven. So I scrolled all the way back up to read your little quote. So stop crying, concern trolling, dude. No one's entitled to me reading every one of their chats, dude. Go to any YouTube channel on all of YouTube and see what other YouTube content creator reads every comment in his chat. It's ridiculous, man. You can never do enough for people, man. I should probably read the book before I claim it's not real. If it's by Joseph Smith, it's not real because it claims there's a planet. Now, if you're talking about something out beyond that, I don't know. If it's contradictory to those, I'm personally not going to agree with it. But I do know that Mormonism is faith-based. I've talked to them, to numerous Mormons. So I'm telling you what they told me was the belief. Now, I'm not saying that I know more about the historicity of it than you. I'm sure I don't. But Joseph Smith did claim to be a prophet. People did accept that, and to this day, they still do accept his teaching. There's an entire book of Mormonism. If that's what you're referring to, they tell me that Jesus and Lucifer were spirit brothers, and that Jesus was given the planet of Earth, and that we are all gods, but it's faith-based, and if you can reach your godlike state, you are then given your planet. So that's kind of crazy to me. That directly contradicts Yeshua. How can each moron have their own planet if families are forever? Each Mormon. I don't know. I don't keep up with. I'm not big on religions, man, and theological discussions, even though one might think that's not true with hearing this stream or how much. Dude, I'm just telling you, I thought all religions were fake. There's 4,200 religions. I hated religion, bro. I was raised in a Christian church. No one would ever answer my questions. None of the preachers, none of my teachers, my Sunday school teachers, the deacons, no one ever could answer any of my questions. I would hit them with the hardball questions. They couldn't answer them. They'd just come around with it, or they just say vague things. They never answer with specificity. They never respond to Genesis 6. I was like, okay, this sucks. How do you know your religion's right? I used to be agnostic. I used to know there was a God. But I didn't know what it was. I thought it was primitive and egotistical to try to attempt to claim that you did know. I thought that actually religion was just the primitive expression of humans who try to explain the inexplicable, which is a specific expression of creation or the creator. And then I looked into it without bias, and I actually sought God via the scriptures, and it changed. I'm not trying to make you do it. Don't do it if you don't want to do it. Let the dead bury the dead. I planted seeds. I'm telling you, bro, I was as diametrically opposed to religion as you could possibly be. And, dude, I know that God's real. More importantly, I know Jesus is real. And I know that the Bible is real. And I know that some of the books that were hidden from you are going to start to resurface and already have resurfaced, so you can better understand the story. And we're in the time of things being revealed. Take it or leave it. I do what I'm led to do. I'm telling you the truth. I can't make you soak up the gravy, I'm not really interested in debating with people about this stuff, man. Oh, thanks, man. Stay on track here, Kings of the Pounce. Much love, bro. I just keep on reading from these people. I'm actually about to I'm about to get off, guys. Not because of that. That doesn't bother me. It's just been like almost 2.5 hours. It's a relationship, not a religion. Exactly, bro. Exactly. That's what I said too. I have a relationship with my Father, not a religion. Most churches are New Age or Judeo. Yeah, exactly. Judeo-Christian. What does that even mean? Judeo-Christian. What an oxymoron. I mean, I understand the premise, but it's still. That's cool, bro. You trying to say the Bible was written by native or written by American Indians? I don't even know what's going on anymore. I don't care. I don't care. Oh my gosh, this was such okay. So anyway, guys, the whole sentiment was, dude, for me, the hardest thing when it comes to enemies is to like not, for example, like be the old me and just pop someone for talking crazy, thinking that they're real tough little gammas with ill intent. But I had to get spiritual contentment and peace, and now I'm not like that at all. I've actually been snuck numerous times and done nothing. I'm not perfect anywhere close to it, but I'm saying that whenever you do begin to seek spiritual resolvement within yourself, you gain these characteristics of humility and patience and understanding and discernment and wisdom. If you pray for these things specifically, they'll build, and then it's directly correlated or directly proportionate, in my opinion, to God's plan and your discipline. So as you truly do seek Him, He says you'll find Him if you truly seek Him. You have to truly seek Him, swallow your pride. When you truly want discernment, you truly want to cut out your sin. You truly, as in depravity, right? Dishonesty. Promote logos and truth and honor, bro. Like, stop watching porn, stop drinking fluoride, stop just living in depravity and morbidity and nihilism and apathy, and understand there's there's something very spiritually important about you, as is there's something spiritually important about all things. And God made everything, bro, and He wants you to know the truth. And if you truly want to know the truth, then you'll find it. Seek Him truly. Now, if you want to know the truth, but as long as it fits into your little box of, I like to do this, so I only want to acknowledge God as long as He works with those confinements I've made for Him. That's not how it works. You have to die to yourself, pick up the cross, and follow Him. It's the way that I chose to live my life. I'm telling you that I used to think it was crazy. I'm not trying to preach anymore. It's super draining, to be honest. But we have been hit. The book of Enoch was hidden, gives context. We've been lied to about all history. The whole point here being is to be able to pray for your enemies. You're going to have to be able to see the bigger picture in a metaphysical sense, a spiritual sense, with wisdom, spiritual wisdom and discernment. You have to understand, like, anger is giving them some form of power. If you can truly implement wisdom in the situation or discernment, then you're going to understand, like you're going to feel bad for them, right? And so then it's much easier to forgive them, to pray for them, and to just let them be, right? Because what they're trying to do, and most of these people again are working on behalf of the greater enemy and don't even know it, but they're trying to suck your energy, and most of these people don't even notice what they're doing. Right, because people are naturally good-hearted. So what happens is you just get it tainted, and you start doing evil because you're being misguided with different kind of desires and fleshly desires and wants and needs. Wants that you feel like aren't worth sacrificing or whatever. So like you are misguided that way, and then depravity begins to increase and expound into your entire metaphysical residue. So hopefully you're following kind of what I'm saying. And then, turning the other cheek is one of the other things. I've literally turned the other cheek a few times, but I think it also, of course, has a pretty easy to understand allegorical importance, as in, like, when people do wrong to you, don't go do wrong to them. When someone steals from you, let them have it. When someone borrows money but doesn't pay you back, let them have it. Just truly seeking and speaking truth, meaning what you say, and then letting the rest handle itself. And you need God for the contentment, man. And if you understand the biggest enemy is actually has no power over you, the ultimate enemy, the master of deception, the author of confusion, he has no power over you. It's quite refreshing. Like, there's nothing to fear, not even death itself, right? Like, the only thing to fear is God's the fear of reverence, fear of respect. You are a million times stronger once you get to that point. So I'm just trying to help you get to that point. Society has been crafted. You have been socially programmed and engineered to be fearful, to need some form of authoritative figure to protect you, or to think that you need that. Okay, you've been crafted to be triggered by your fear, to control your decision making. Detach from fear, detach from revenge, right? The best revenge you can do is to kill people with kindness. As corny as that sounds, love and kindness and doing what's right and not letting them get under your skin and knowing that you have pure intentions, that supersedes all of this other nonsense. To all of the people that are going through something like that, where they feel like they have a bunch of people coming at them, trust me, I understand. I definitely understand. But you have to have faith and contentment in seeking and speaking the truth. Literally, if you know you're seeking the truth, like that is why I talk about flat earth. Okay, like the God's honest truth is my intention is 100% pure. I want people to know the truth. I want people to know they're not some tiny speck of dust, and that's been crafted so that they don't know that they're important. I want them to know they're important. I want everyone to have a fair chance to make their own decision. And then I want, wipe my feet, brush off my feet, wipe my hands with that at that point, right? But I want everyone to have their own fair chance. I want to plant seeds enough to where everyone can at least know that. That's my true, pure intention. And that's why I'm not worried about anything else. I'm not worried about if YouTube keeps all this money or kicks me off. I don't care about any of that. I don't care. Literally, I don't care about any of it. Okay. I'm not motivated by that. And that's why I know that whatever these little enemies' plans are, these little gammas running around, whatever none of that matters. Okay. Because I know God's got my back, because I'm truly trying to seek and speak truth and promote logos and what's pure. And if you can do that same thing, you get a level of contentment that you can't even put into words, and fear goes out the window. You realize there's nothing to fear other than God. There's nothing to fear. So just take that and understand and apply that to any kind of interaction that you have with these enemies, and realize they can only have power over you if you give it to them. And that goes to the very ultimate one, which is the main enemy, the author of confusion, the light bearer. So there's my take. Much love, everybody. Thanks for joining. Like I always say, unplug from the box. The box is a metaphorical, ideological box that's used to keep you into this fearful state of submission. So you buy into this facade of existence, and then you're easily controlled and guided. I also always say the world is a stage. If you don't realize the world's a stage and that you're watching a play, you'll never be able to truly understand the motivation of the author of the play. So yeah, just unplug from the box, think for yourself, step outside of the box and re-examine without bias. Seek and speak truth, mean what you say. I'll catch up with y'all tomorrow. Love. Peace.